Yeah, that's more like my holiday vibe, you know? It's like every once in a while I go somewhere for like 3 weeks, I commentate a lot, then I never do it again for like 3 months. It's more like a vacation time, you know?
DZG versus Geekay. Still haven't found out what the G stands for yet. I am very curious.
It's gotta be gaming, like Dark Zero Gaming. But they're called Dark Zero Esports. I know.
Yeah.
But what else would it be? I don't know. On the Monty ban, not Dokkaebi ban, some things will never change. That's okay. Here. I do like the Munchies keeping things the same.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then a Valkyrie is pretty likely. That's been the trend so far. Tubero is playable, I would say, on Nighthaven Lab. We haven't really seen it much in this matchup, but no Valkyrie will be that same operator. So operator ban-wise, there has been 1 or 2 specific target bans.
Grim was the only difference.
Yeah.
Back in map 1, all the way back on Chalet, it was a Grim ban instead of Monty, but it was Monty on map 2 and now Monty on map 3. So operator bans on Nighthaven exactly the same, which suggests, of course, that these are not necessarily target bans. I mean, they could be target bans, but they're not map-specific bans. These are just, we don't want to play against these, we're going to get rid of them.
Yeah. I mean, that's how most teams do it, especially at this stage where you don't really have that much like live intel on your opponent. It's the first day of the tournament where in a couple days from now, in phase 2, in phase 3, you know, when we come to LAN, there's gonna be a lot of VODs to study. You'll see, okay, these guys love playing this operator, but only on this map. That's when those operators tend to get banned more often than not. Now, the way the teams typically play this base and bomb site is that you will actually have a pretty big roam game going on, which you see upstairs, and you play a bunch of C4s below. We see it right now, 3 C4s in the lineup, and a bulletproof, and of course the Solace. And you'll roam a bit, run around, waste time for the attackers, and hopefully get 1 or 2 C4 kills. In a perfect world, you have Valkyrie, Oben, or an Echo, or some sort of intel to pair with those C4s, but that's the game plan here. So Geekay, while they're not looking to win the roam, it is kind of like a waste as much time as possible, maybe get a kill or 2, and fall back to the side and waste a ton of time and utility. Dark Zero, they know this. They play so much Nighthaven Lab. I believe the statistics before this BO3 started, the desk said it was their like the map they've performed the best on LAN so far statistically. So we should expect a lot from Dark Zero, despite the fact they've changed 2 players, getting in Nave and getting in Bolo. They have experience, they have the knowledge. They shouldn't look lost like they did on Consulate just the map before. Things start off quite well. Open up the wall to Garage, downstairs in stockroom, looking for the roam. It's Tricks right now on the Solace, finding drones, pinging them, trying to deny them. And DC just taking things slow here. They're not going to rush anything.
Only 4 rounds of Tubero, as you pointed out, can see some play on this map. And what the operator does is greatly slow down entry to certain points of the map. When you're looking at this bottom floor defense from Geekay, the ability to trick those walls is huge. You get a Kaid, you get a Bandit on the board, even a Mute on the board. Always going to find EMPs being brought. If you don't have a Thatcher, Maverick's a great addition, but I mean, Tubero even counters Maverick.
Yeah.
So you don't really get ahead of it. I wonder if we're not seeing him because either A, he's banned out by teams, or B, he's just too new that teams haven't worked him in just yet. I'm not sure. Bolo first to die, seriously eliminating him. Canadian trades right back. Capitao showing up, but instead this time it's the Para in his hands instead of the LMG. So just a small change. You've also seen those can openers open up 2 holes on the other exterior wall after the main wall had been opened up by the exothermic charge of NJR.
Also true, but the issue with those can openers is that you gotta vault on in. It's not a sexy way to do it. You're stuck in that animation, and I mean, Canadians got a tough job here. The smokes, the fires go out, but what's the follow-up plan here? Are you just gonna waltz into side, or is it gonna be a flank elsewhere looking for an opportunity?
I'm not sure. Oh, but Noodle looked for a long-range kill. Canadian is doing an excellent job. We're used to him being among the worst performing player on the team, but Canadian's actually held his own so far through these 2 maps. Having impactful rounds, but also getting very necessary, though not particularly sexy kills through the mid-round. Now he's got Diffuser in hand, 2 kills to his name, and he's halfway down with the objective.
It's perfect.
Nobody from GK has an answer to this. He goes for the run-out, gives his position away, NJR dies. Canadian with a 3rd kill. He's no more to Tricks. So 3 kills for the team captain at DZ is all he will find. Now it's a 2v2. Bambazoo and Nave waiting patiently. Tricks down for the count. It's Key. 1 point of HP. Not a lot left to do here. DZ in full control, and this is something that a lot of people don't know about the Candela. You can use them like cluster charges and go through the floor. Flashes over top of the objective. The clock wasn't his friend. Neither was Nafe. First round goes to Dark Zero.
I mean, it's an impressive round, but it comes, down to Canadian opening things off, finding those kills, because he's outside the breach in a less than ideal situation, and he just lands the craziest shot all the way through both bomb sites, basically. And it's okay, that's the bomb site player. I can walk on in, get that diffuser planted. He does just that. DC, again, they look much better on Night Haven Lab already, but Geekay didn't really seem like, to be fair with Geekay, they weren't really met on what they wanted. They wanted a roam clear. That's not really what DC went for 1-to-1. So this is just DC recognizing, okay, they want us to do X. We're not going to do that. We're going to hit the bomb site straight on, apply pressure, force the roam to be weakened and fall back a little bit, and then hit the roam a little bit in garage to deny verticality. And we saw, seriously, swing out and get 1 kill, but immediately trade it back. Those small decisions you got to make in an instant. Okay, I got my 1 kill. Is that enough? Should I go for more? And if you overextend a little bit too far, you will lose bomb site pressure. That's when the bomb gets planted. So if you roam too hard, well, gotta be careful.
Smile on Troy Canadian's face after that first round, and for good reason. I am very curious to see the confidence level of Geekay here. It seems like on round number 2, they are most interested in immediately running it back on that bottom floor exo bomb site.
I like that. It kind of signifies that small things that went the wrong way, we can go back and fix those, and then they have a different result. And I do agree with that. The way that Cersei died, the way that things fell apart, yeah, you can fix that very easily.
I mean, Noodle took an engagement he didn't need to at longer range and died pretty much needlessly at that point. Not that the smokes or anything was not that there were smokes or flashes or anything that were hugely important for that post plant. But Noodle just simply staying alive and being an active gun in a post plant is a massive boon for Geekay.
Yeah, I like to use the term that doing nothing is doing something. Just this sheer aspect of like being alive, having 5 guns up, it's gonna make the enemy more aware, more conscious. Like, okay, we can't just rush the bomb site here. There are 5 enemies alive. Whereas if you just died for nothing, it's like, okay, there's only 4 people alive. Now it's more feasible. So sometimes just the sheer act of simply staying alive and not falling early does have a lot of value. Trix upstairs roaming. There's a drone on him. He's soulless. He should know this, but somehow Canadian set a sneaky drone. Because they have the intel, they can make an aggressive advancement here, and he drops at the right moment. Both members swung him. He gets out alive.
I've been really impressed with Seriously on this roster. Had a very quiet but still strong game back in map number 1, and the map number 2 was very dominant. Obviously, Hashom and I think to a certain extent Noodle are going to be the 2 players that resonate the most with the community, and Hashom in particular is going to be somebody that people would cheer for because his plays are quite flashy, and back in map number 1, Hashom was excellent despite the scoreline for GK. But Seriously has been getting in there, getting into fights, taking early engagements, but also having very impactful kills if he's not involved in the first pick, the second, the third pick beyond that, while also playing heavy utility operators. He's not just a gun, and I think that's fantastic, frankly, for a team that needs that level of depth at this level. They're finding it in Seriously.
This time, Geekay, they get the strat they wanted. They get all 3 C4s used. Don't let that kill, unfortunately, but they want DC to roam clear. They did just that. Now time is running low. 50 seconds. There's just time to over the floor, the hatches, etc. Hashom swings, but this time he falls. Pamazu is successful. He's 2-0 now in the first 2 rounds. So while time is slow for Dark Zero, most things are going their way. But as I say that, Noodle finds Canadian. That's your captain off the board as well.
1 can opener remaining for Dark Zero. That's it for Hard Breach at the moment. Other than, I guess, Bolo's single Selma. But a single Selma is not, I think, going to pay as much as that can opener will. Hold on. Pamazu heard us talking ish about him, Nick, in the previous map. Is now showing up huge. Naven Bolo, the final 2 kills. We said that a couple times. 3 kills, though, from Pamazu is the real story. And he almost gets the diffuser down. I don't know if it was successful right as the timer ended. I don't think it was.
Don't think so.
Either way, a big round for Pamazu, and DZ now up 2-0.
This takes me back to the first map of Chalet where You know, Geekay, they picked Bar and Chalet, they lost it, they did it again with a slight alteration, they lost it again. They've done the same thing here. They go basement, the first time they lose it, slight alteration, go there again, they lose it again. And now, what we expect from them based off previous maps is they're gonna change up their playstyle, right? If they've been playing very fast, quick, like moving a lot, they're gonna start playing more passive. If they started playing more better guns now, they might play utility. Because a change up has to happen here. So I would expect some different operators. Of course, you would expect a very different bomb side. Otherwise, DC will just run with this. They're winning their attacks. Look at that. Different bomb side, and more importantly, very different set of operators. The Bandit and the Tuberu, the first combo that you and I will cast, Parker, where the whole goal here is Bandit will trick a wall, and then either Noodle on the Tuberu will delay it, so Bandit can run over there and trick the wall to deny something, or you just sit there together and you just like you trick through it. They throw out an EMP and a thermite charge, you will Tuberu the wall, and you Bandit trick the wall. You go back and forth, you waste a lot of time on utility and resources really from both sides, but usually this will favor the defenders. You have 4 Bandit batteries, you have 3 Tuberu, what should we call them, EMPs, canisters, etc. Okay. Canadian almost dying early on. So I want to keep an eye here on NJR and Nave, the Thatcher Thermite combo, because that's probably going to be the biggest way to counter the Bandit tricking right now. Maybe even Bowl on the Ace will get into the mix as well. You Thermite one side, you Ace the other, EMP goes out. One of those 2 sides hopefully will go through.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but when the Tuberu video came out, it was Nighthaven Labs where he was shown off the most.
I believe so.
In the trailer, because there's just so many exterior walls that already are relatively easy to Bandit trick or throw Electric Claws down on, and there you go, look at that. Now you can get in position, 2 Bandit batteries in the pocket of Hashom. Know that there's hard breach there, but has to be wary of that window down below. Another will go and
trick it.
Should get it. No.
Okay, so one thing changed in the most recent patch, I haven't played it with myself, but they nerfed Tuberu where the freezing gadget will also freeze the Bandit trick, so I think you have to shoot at the same time as you place it now. You can't just lazily freeze the wall, Bandit trick. You have to deny the freeze before the Bandit trick goes down because you freeze the Bandit battery as well now. I think that's what happened. And that's because the thermite charge almost all the way through, sorry, before the freeze came out.
Yeah, it was instantaneous. The moment that the Zoto canister was shot was when we saw the wall open up.
Yeah, so
really playing just on borrowed time at that point. And now there will be another attempt, as there goes yet another canister onto the wall, and you can see completely frozen. Those 2 Selmas suspended in action.
Yeah, you see. So I'm pretty sure the way it has to go is Tuberu has to shoot his own device prematurely right before Bandit puts the battery down. That's how you got to do it now.
Just a bit more complexity being added, but I mean, if the criticism for the operator was that he was bringing about a 20-second meta, which was something that we didn't like, by the way. We didn't like the 20-second meta at the time. We're glad we're past it. Then you've got to find a way to make it so that Kaid and Bandit do not have even greater power. And if that change does it, so be it. First pick is, of course, for the Hashom. Down goes Bolo. Nate finds one as well. Only 25 seconds left. This has been a plodding round. Very slow. Seriously looking for another kill for his team. It would be his first on the round. Hashom goes down to Panbazoo as Nave is traded off by Trix. Seemingly everybody getting involved in the fray. Now it's Trix to die to NJR. Seriously, a second pick on NJR. He'll lose his life. Noodle in a 1v1, and he wins it against Panbazoo. That was a close one. As close as you can get in the dying moments of the round, but Geekay break the 2-round streak that we saw DZ riding on. DZ's still with the lead, but it's only by 1 round.
Very close. If Troy had the idea that Seriously was hiding right next to him, that could have been a different outcome in that round. But when there's no time, there is no intel either. You don't have those spare moments to go on a drone, ask for backup, etc. So you gotta take the gamble, take that risk. This time it does not pay out for Dark Zero, but they got the previous 2 rounds. Already now in the 2-1 half on the 4th round to begin here. It's a great spot for both teams. DC already got some leeway, and of course GK, they're starting to build it up themselves. Go through those bomb sites, figure out like what's gonna work, what play style will counter Dark Zero right now. It's about reading into your opponent. When you're defending, you pick your 5 operators, you gotta stick it. When you're attacking, however, you can attack or repick as much as you want and kind of analyze what the weakness might be. There is he seriously just sneaking into that corner, getting 1 and getting 2, even doing damage to the 3rd. All Noodle needed was one bullet. And one bullet indeed hit the mark.
My favorite thing about LAN events are playing back the fist pumps, and if somebody shouts, you just hear it over and
Every
over
time.
and over again. Yeah. On your screen right now, by the way, an advertisement for the R6 share skins, which are 40% off at the moment, but reminds me of times long ago when Zofia was picked. Now, just a ghost of the past.
She was played last round, just to like annihilate your point, but yeah, she's not played meta anymore. Okay.
It's called an outlier.
Oh, outliers exist, yeah?
And that was an outlier.
Okay. Well, you're right.
She currently has the same pick rate as Jackal and Capkin.
Yeah?
Because they were picked once each last map.
Okay.
Just to annihilate your point.
Yeah, that's fair. Outliers, yeah, I get
Nice bait, by the way, on to Seriously. As Bolo now actually playing the Jackal, means that Jackal has a higher pick rate than Zofia, so take that, Nick.
I am losing on both sides, but DC, they'll win the fights right now. They're approaching the bomb site, even Pampas, who's 6-1, by the way.
Nice bounce back from the previous map, where he only had 2 kills to his name, which is just simply not enough. A 7th now for Trixt, as he and Nafe are holding an angle. A 7th now as he takes out Trixt. Just trying to speak too quickly. You can hear the echoes of the FaZe D+ game going on next to us, but a small partition separates us from the B stream. And for you at home, only a URL separates you from the B stream, as you can go watch all the other matches that will be occurring over there. There are 4 matches on both the A stream and 4 matches on the B stream, all best of 3s.
Oh yeah. Best of 3s to phase 1 is, I love this, you know? For teams that tend to go home early, you get more experience going to an event. And for more experienced teams, they can also get exposed as to who has a weak map pool, because best of 1s don't punish poor map pool teams. Geekay, Dark Zero, they've gone the distance now. Shelly, Consulate, and currently a Nighthaven Lab, and they're still fighting it. But it's 4v2 now in favor of Dark Zero, with still almost a minute to go. A good pace here, much quicker than the previous round.
Absolutely. No Nitro Cell for Hashom. His Bandit batteries are already down. Key does have those smart goggles and a Nitro Cell for a post-plant situation, but utility heavily favoring Dark Zero at the moment. Tons of Skeleton Key ammo. Still, 3 of those Rotero drones. Looked like there was 1 nade for Nafe that just got tossed out as well. A swing from Key on the window. When you're down those numbers, DZ doubled up on you, you gotta swing to try and equalize. That's exactly what GK do, but unfortunately, you take those coin flip engagements, 50-50, you lose both of them, and you're back looking at defeat. 3-1 for Dark Zero. They regain a 2-round lead. Been jostling bomb sites. Looks like, not EXO, we call it EXO, or I call it EXO for shorthand. The official name is Tank Assembly, which is the basement bomb site. It was played through those first 2 rounds. Not very successfully.
No.
You said that the reason why GK would go back to that basement bomb site in round number 2 was because they had some small adjustments they could make that would improve their standing. But that wasn't the case. The second round was arguably just as dominant for Dark Zero as the first round.
Yeah.
What is going to change now for GK on their 3rd attempt to this bomb site?
Well, the impressive thing is that GK did change things around, but Dark Zero had solutions for both of those problems. So if anything, I think the applause goes to Dark Zero more than the criticism goes to GK. But they will have something for a 3rd attempt here. They're bringing out the Bandit, just like they tried on that CCTV defense upstairs. My only issue with this is when you just bring the Bandit and you don't bring a Mute or Kaid or True to kind of assist him, I don't really know what I should expect from how efficiently you can trick the walls. There are so many to choose between. There's a triple wall on main breach, a double wall on main breach, and there's also going to be the single wall as well. You cannot trick both walls at once. And when we saw Dark Zero play Thatcher in previous rounds, they're able to if they want to. Not that they are right now, but I don't know if the Bandit here will be the solution. This round, this bomb site typically will either fall or it will win on the roam game portion of this map, which DC, they've been excellent at so far. They like playing the Jackal. Bolo again, 3rd time now bringing this operator. So if there's a roam, they will find it, they will shut it down, and then it doesn't matter if you're playing Bandit or the Mira or what you're doing on the bomb side, because with all that vertical destruction up above you, you're not gonna have anywhere to play.
Legion has been a staple of GK's defenses and has been jostled around from various players. What do you think leads to this resurgence of Legion, an operator who didn't really have a stable or steady footing in the meta, being played a lot by Seriously, and now obviously this round being trotted out by Hasham?
Let me tell you, the goo mine damage being back, the second you step into it, it's a tilter. It's only a little bit of damage, but still, like, you go into this play like, ugh, another one, right? Like, okay, Bolo shoots, he's a better player than I am, but like, you're supposed to hit them and then get annoyed by them.
Was that ever up for debate, by the way, about Bolo being a better player than you?
No. He's an SI champ, he's a legend. He's good.
Did you ever win SI?
No, Parker, no.
Certainly not back-to-back.
Certainly not back-to-back. And Fabian didn't win a third without me either, you know?
Drone out! And now he's an analyst.
Yeah, he downgraded.
No. Bolo, as you spoke of, being a better player, gets punished by Tricks, but Panbazoo has his teammates back. And you say goodbye to Jason Doty. So long, Bolo. Playing the Jackal yet again. I wonder if they are concerned with the roam, and that's why the Jackal is being brought out. I mean, Jackal obviously has good utility too. We won't see the smokes from Bolo be of much use. They die with him.
Yeah.
That is a problem.
I almost think the secondary shotgun might even be a bigger problem. They have no buck this time from Pambro. They have no vertical destruction. So this side is not going to be as exposed or vulnerable as I said earlier because they cannot break the floor apart. So while they cleared the roam, while they have first floor control, they can't do a whole lot with this. So Dark's a bit of a... they're kind of stuck in this round, honestly.
They're just going to have to brute force their way through it. No shortage of hard breach on their side. There goes the can opener. Another can opener in the back pocket of Panbazoo. That's the secondary hard breach. No thermite charges remaining for Canadian, as there's just a little bit of obscurement. Walking on in, excuse me, someone call 911, but not for him, Panbazoo. 9 kills to his name, walking in, getting the knife pick, looking for a 10. He's got some numbers, looks down, smoke goes. Another 2 as well, maybe for Panbazoo, looking for his 4th on the round. The cross is there, out-dueled by Noodle, shut down by Nafe. Canadian looking to extend the round, doing so by getting the diffuser down. Seriously needs to win this for Geekay. 3 players from Dark Zero standing between him and that diffuser. The clock, also an adversary. A nice shot, controlling the MP7 for Seriously, but he's given his position away. He's got a good idea of where the last 2 might be. Canadian and Nafe, they don't need to move a muscle. Just sit and wait. And that's exactly what they do. Nafe punishing him. DZ win their 4th round? 5th round?
4th round?
4th round? My goodness.
No, it's flying by, and honestly, a perfect 2v1 crossfire there from Dark Zero. But we've been saying, where is Panbazoo map number 1? Where is Panbazoo in map number 2 of console? Because he was nowhere to be found. 2 and 7, I think, failing almost every entry, dying early, didn't get help, no assistance. But now here in the 3rd map where it matters the most, one could say, it's Pamba party time. He's getting knife kills, he's walking in, triple on the entry, and also he's initiating, he's setting things up, and he's acting upon it as well. He gave his team all the space in the world in that round. He opened up the plant possibility, got the bomb site control, and sacrificed himself in that final 1v1 to buy time for the plant cover. It was a selfless act that worked for the team. It was perfect. The big eyes there. Oh, I'm blinded. The knife there out of nowhere. You see it here. You can see they love that. Important round. They were so locked out, no soft destruction, the main walls weren't open, the bandit did technically work for them, but when you lose out on a single staircase rundown by 3 attackers, well, that sucks. The worst way to go out. 4-1 now in favor of DC, and if you're Geekay right now, your biggest question mark is what bomb site do you go to? You just have not really found any stable success. The 1-round victory that they had was quote-unquote due to a mishap from Dark Zero. Seriously snuck into a corner, almost got 3 kills, shut things down for DC. Had that not happened, odds are that would have been an extremely close round, or DC would have stolen it outright. They're gonna go back to CC. The 1 round they won, the 1 bomb set they won rather. They're gonna bring that same lineup, the 2 Burrow Bandit, but hopefully this time they're gonna navigate the Bandit charges a little bit better and work proactively to deny that wall and not have that slip up where the exothermal charge did indeed go through. Adaptation though. Panda will actively block below Canadian support Bolo on the window, so they're gonna take downstairs control first, then breach the wall. Oh.
Ooh, Tricks getting out of there with his life. I spoke too soon.
I mean, that's excellent. 3 players downstairs. It's soulless off the board. They can breach the wall now. It's really excellent room clear.
It was a textbook entry, too.
Yeah.
Well done by Dark Zero, and This round not starting off particularly well for GK. Noodle's been the player rocking 2-bro the most. I think all but one round so far that we've seen of the newest operator in this matchup has been played by Noodle.
Yep.
I think it was Key who played him back in map number 1.
It might have been. It might have been. No Maverick though. Like Maverick is like the easiest solution to 2-bro, of course, but it's also a slow process. EMPs, verticality, more coordinated, positions are gonna get the job done faster. But now you clear things vertically, but now the 2-bro freeze is still gonna be happening. 20 seconds gonna be taken away time and time again, or those 12 seconds rather. It builds up. This wall will take a while to get opened.
Those bandit batteries are there. Wall opens up. Bandit batteries remain, or at least one of them does. Ultimately, this tricking from GK is not as successful as it could be, though it looked like from our top-down view that most of the defenders had fallen off of that position, so map control gained by DZ. Nighthaven Labs has a bit of a reputation for being a slower map, and it's certainly living up to that billing so far, but again, I gotta give some credit to DZ. They look quicker than they have with previous iterations. They found 2 kills so far. Key eliminates Nave, who didn't look like he knew where it was coming from. Over on the top of Fish, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
Seriously engaging, taking the duel with NJR. Again, you kind of have to swing when you're in this situation. And NJR running out of ammunition. Nitro still goes out, but Bolo to the rescue. 2 kills from the ace. And it is indeed finally 5 rounds, not in the previous one like I had said. 5-1 first half for DZ. They are punishing the Saudi Arabian team on this 3rd and final map.
And now you really hope that GK has that same mentality as Troy did when they were the team losing, 1 round at a time. Because when you're down 1 and 5, you make 1 mistake, you lose 1 round, you're looking down that match point scenario where things get really, really tough. Then you have nothing left to throw away. You can't make a single mistake, then it's over. This is the best of 3. They have fought their way here. There's a sloppy start on Chalet. They had a phenomenal console at GK, that is. But now here at Nighthaven Lab, they're getting picked apart every single round so far in the first half in various setups. Both in utility, in the roam clear, and most importantly, in the adaptation. Because this is so different than Consulate. On Consulate, it was GK always having Dark Seers' card, always understanding what they're gonna do and shutting it down. Now, we flip that. Dark Seer, okay, they're gonna play a guy below who's gonna, deny us from breaching with Astro Sophia to stop the bandit trick. So what they're gonna do, we're gonna take Ace, Jackal, and Buck. We're gonna hunt down that roamer, bait him in by fake breaching the wall, essentially, get the kill, break the floor, then get the wall. Small adaptations like that are vital to success in these rounds. Because when you're attacking opponents for the 2nd or 3rd time, you're building upon what happened every single round and trying to get that final picture of how you think they're gonna play it. What change could they make, which they've not done yet. Now, Geekay on attack, and they've changed things around themselves. They're playing Maverick, the first Maverick of the series as well. But what happens next? Well, Canadian finds Noodle very early in this round. So a 4v5 start, when you're down 1 and 5 in round count, this is not where you wanna be, and it gets worse. Because Nave also killed Hashon. So now you're playing 3v5.
Attackers drop the diffuser.
This is a great start so far for Dark Zero. 45 seconds into the round. You've taken out the Jackal. There go a set of smokes. The only set of smokes, in fact, in hand for any of these operators. Good news is that all 3 remaining members of GK have access to Heart Breach.
That's true. Yeah.
So you're not going to be necessarily pressed to get into the building or get closer to the bomb site. But those peripherals, those other tools that you need, flashes, breach charges, smokes, etc. You're not going to have all of those at your disposal because of these 2 kills. Additionally, I think it's fair to say that with the exception of maybe Seriously, the 2 best players from GK are removed. And speaking of Seriously, he's got some weight that he needs to hold now, shoulder, and he does it. Getting Pam Bazoo, the best player in this particular map for Dark Zero. NJR now standing against the Tides as Trixed with half the round to go.
What?
Gets the diffuser down. Dark Zero don't seem to understand this. They've lost control. They hop on the Yokai drone, but it's too late. Their guns need to come alive. Trixed another kill, this time onto Nate. NJR not far away. Maverick pushing up. Shotgun blast from NJR. Works. Collects 2 for the price of 1. seriously last man standing. He'll need to get every single kill for his team in this round, or else Dark Zero moves to series point. Just a small jiggle peek around the door, gets the drop on a Canadian, followed up on by none other than Bolo. And with 3 seconds to spare, NJR is able to hop on that diffuser and successfully disables it. DZ moves to series point.
Way too close for comfort. I mean, I was gonna say that like realistically, that round was over the second Hasham died. It was a 3 versus 5. But a quick 3-2-1, drop the hatch, go for those kills, and somehow, someway, they just stick the plant. And DC, despite having Toxic Babes, a C4, and Yokai Drone, had no idea the plant was going down. They were thinking, we're fine. They smoked off the window. There's no way they can do this. But the plan didn't indeed go down, and they almost were also successful at defending it in the post plant. A ridiculous set of events, which I don't even know how that happened, but NGR, the hero once more for Dark Zero, finding those 2 shotgun kills was vital to their success.
That's actually on me.
Yeah, there it is, Nate. That's on you. You're playing Echo, buddy. Where are the Yokais at? But I love to see this, you know. Yeah, they're winning 6-1, taking responsibility when you're losing. It's probably not that difficult because things are going well for you, but I do love seeing when players, they say, you know what, that's on me. Like, solely, win or lose that round, I should have played my part better. If you're the Echo with the Yokais and you don't have active intel and you know that one thing they can do is rush the side probably in that scenario, yeah, that's kind of on you. But team effort regardless. 6-1 for DC, they are looking mighty comfortable. And Geekay, I don't blame them if they're just gonna go for something crazy here. Running through a building, you know, try and counter a spawn peak, you know, maybe do some split theory sessions here, just like go 5 people on 5 different sides of the map, try and go for a pick or a kill. Because right now at this point, as a team on the fundamentals of Siege, you know, communication, teamwork, crossfires, etc., DC are just a better team. Which, to be fair, given the experience difference between these two these two teams, is expected.
Yep. Accountability is also really important, and that's something that teams maybe need to keep greater mind of. Yeah, going on Twitter after a game and blaming your mouse or your computers or your monitors or the weather conditions or the chairs or the table or whatever, you know. That's a whole other conversation for another day. But when you mess up and you say, my bad, that's all that matters.
Yeah, goes a long way.
Obviously, if you keep messing up and then you keep taking accountability for it, that's great. The idea is to not mess up. Mistakes are going to be made almost every single game by every single team. Even as dominant as they've looked, W7M has made mistakes over the last run that they've been on for the last year. It's bound to happen.
Yeah.
But try to limit the amount of mistakes you make and take accountability for it. And it's good that somebody like Nath is coming in on the team and doing that, because leadership is something that I think Canadian will benefit greatly from by having somebody else at his side to take accountability and take ownership of those mistakes, even if they're team mistakes. Nath doing that is great. And clearly things are working for Dark Zero. Maybe not in this round, Nick, as GK are up 5v3 with half the round to go.
Yeah, they got good solid drone intel. I mean, they got the locations of every Dark Zero roamer locked in. And it's just saying, okay, this guy's gonna move soon, guys. Get ready to hop off the cannon to shut them down. Nave looking for a pick back here. They have the exact read on each other, but NGR is first with the C4 vertically onto Trix. That's Maverick off the board. Not crucial operator in this round necessarily, but the numbers go back to Dark Zero's favor for just a moment.
I mean, it's closer than it looks in all reality. It's just a matter of a utility-less Dark Zero needing to come to blows. Hasham is there to shut them down, at least for now. He and Noodle in a 2v1. And Bolo be the hero. Pops up, down goes Hasham. Noodle and Bolo in a 1v1. Oh, how sweet it would be for Bolo to give DZ the win. His first match in how long, Nick?
381 days.
Unbelievable, and he finds himself in a tense moment. He alone could propel Dark Zero to a 2-1 victory over the red-hot team of GK. But there's work to be done. Noodle will find some comfort, some security in the corner, getting the diffuser down. Bolo will attempt to get him out of this position. Noodle just needs to hit him with a single shot. Bolo will tempt fate with the super shorty, but Noodle wins the engagement at close range, and we continue onward. Another round for GK, but it's only their second round. It's a tall hill for them to climb to get to the top. Right now, it's DZ trying to keep them down.
It certainly is. And I mean, Noodle did a great job at establishing what could be the win condition in the 1v1 because Bolo played it smart. He had intel with the bulletproof camera if Noodle were to push him. And he had, you know, the cover from the desk/table in front of him as well. He's just playing the positional game. But there is one weakness there. The corner in exactly where Noodle planted, Bolo has no vision of. He has a push to a rotate that's crouch hide. It's not great. And of course, he was low on HP from an earlier engagement. So Noodle did find the one way he could win. And well, he took it for his team. It was a close round though, despite the fact that they got 2 picks early in the round. Nave always holding angles, very disciplined, very patiently. And then usually either looking away at the wrong second or just losing the gunfight. I almost feel bad for him. But it's hard when you're up against a team like DK. They can really shoot back. We talk about experience, we talk about regions and practice schedules and like how many other good teams in your region you can practice against with these big teams, but MENA doesn't have any of those excuses. I mean, they don't use, any of those excuses. They just show up, they do really good, and then they go home. And then they come back and do better. There hasn't been a lot of, oh, it's hard as a MENA team to find good practice or yada, yada, yada. No, very simply, they perform. A very new region to the tier 1 space of Siege, but already impressed us at multiple events in this year alone. It's their first year. Now, taking on DC as a start would be a fantastic beginning for this team. But how realistic is it in reality? Well, if Chalet had gone better, could have been quite close. Nighthaven Lab, not the way they start, one of the things to start at least. But they have had a lot of good rounds and a very good map and consulate. So perhaps the one weakness here for Geekay is just they need a bigger map pool. That comes with time, comes with experience, comes with studying.
Pambazu got it at the last second. My goodness.
Okay.
Bomb located by attackers.
I was unfamiliar with your game.
I didn't think oh, so
Rob.
You know why he got that? Because Ace's Selma charges are like, you know, 0.3 seconds slower now or something like that. Very minuscule difference, but it mattered there. Would you look at that?
Scanning for devices and threats.
Trick's opening up small avenues in to try and shake off those bandit batteries. A more troubling spot for GK, other than an inability to shoot out the bandit batteries, is now you've lost to Shelm, who has shown that he can take over games on the squad. Could need an awful lot more from, seriously, who's looked like the best player, but honestly, GK have not looked very good in this map. No different than how DZ looked on console.
Let's see now, they got no Selmas left, just the Maverick and Tricks. And DC, they read this, they fell back to the bomb site, reinforced off the connector wall. They got a Maverick it open, or brute force way through a single doorway where Injar with a shotgun will be awaiting them.
The walls are closing in, and he's about to get pressured from behind as well. Oh. But how many bullets missed him?
Yeah.
At the beginning? That was half of a meg.
And where's the backup? Like, how does he die like that?
I'm confused. Maybe just waste time. Bolo holding steady on what I imagine is the beachhead, as he's made his way now onto the catwalk and can cycle on over to close in on the bomb site. Key is gone as well, meaning that this triple hard breach combo for GK allows them a little bit extra insurance, but you're down to just the Maverick at this point because all the Selmas have been used by, seriously, good guns in the hands of all 3 operators on GK, but the wherewithal I don't think is quite there. Bolo has woken up, can't go for all 3. Seriously, continues trudging forward with that goo mine in his foot. He pops up, and Pamba shuts the door. A very muted celebration from